Hi, welcome to the Dangle podcast. I'm Dane, that's Glenn.
What's up?
And episode 2 or 3, who knows? First episode's intro.
Just keep them running.
Yeah, okay, we're doing episode 3, officially episode 3. And
Cool.
today we are talking F1 2022 wrap up. We need to find closure
Yeah.
for our own sanity and souls. We need, to
100%.
we need to wrap up 2022 like all of us do. You need
100%.
You can't start watching 2023 if you haven't wrapped up 2022 in your mind and heart. Okay?
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. So that's what we're going to do. So if you haven't done that yet, then you're at the right place because we're going to do it for you.
Yeah.
We're going to let you know.
What
We'll
you
wrap
miss.
up.
Don't watch
2022
Drive to
for you.
Survive.
Don't watch it.
Just
listen
watch this
to this.
8 to 10 minute video,
Yeah.
and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
Okay, let's begin. 2022.
Also, we need to explain to them, guys, Karoon.
I nearly
Get
forgot.
us to
And
Karun.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
Cheapers.
Why do we do this podcast? Because we want to somehow get our way to interview and meet Karun Chandok, who who is the greatest pundit ever to grace the halls
Ever.
of.
And it's got nothing on Ted, it's got nothing on Martin. Just
Karun is
Karoon
sensational.
is where it's at.
Yeah.
So please help us on a journey to meet Karoon, get us to where we need to be, and yeah, we need to meet Karoon.
We're going to keep making episodes until. So if you don't like this podcast, then just get us there and we'll stop making.
Yeah, we'll
episodes.
just, yeah. That could also
So
be a
that could
buyout.
that could
It's
be
a
a
buyout.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, but please. And if you don't know who Karoon is, watch our first episode where we explain a little bit who Karoon is and how he was born in a small town in Chennai.
Yeah.
And
has
yeah,
risen through the ranks to become the greatest pundit. That Sky do not use every week, which we do not understand.
Insane.
How he is not on the books every week, we'll never
Insane.
understand. Honestly.
Okay, let's talk
Let's go.
F1 22.
Okay, so we're going to go through from 10 to 1, and then in and amongst that, we'll discuss some of the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So let's start with Williams.
Okay.
So we both agree that Williams had a slow car. Everyone knows that.
Had a
But Alex
tractor.
Albon, he had a tractor. Alex Albon was impressive throughout the season on his comeback.
Yes.
Everyone sort of accepts that Alex Albon is not a championship winning driver
Fair
because
enough.
when he was
But if your car is finishing 10th in the constructors, it's normal for you to finish 19th or 20th.
So when you're not,
if you're
out driving your
if you're-
machine.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you're being spoken about points, I say good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. And I was
absolutely.
never an Albon fan when he was at
Yeah.
Red Bull, but he's in a car now he's in a team now that appreciates him, and I think it
Yeah,
works.
I'm
And-
happy for him.
And yeah,
So well done to Alex Albon for 2022.
and that's
Had a
Williams.
decent year.
that's really Williams in a nutshell.
Yeah,
And
we don't want to be mean to people on the podcast because that's not what we're about.
Yeah.
So we're just going to be honest about things. We're not going to sort of have a go at people. So I think we can accept Nicholas Latifi was not up to standard in Formula One. So
Yeah.
we knew that he was never going to.
I think Formula One moving on would be stronger without him.
Absolutely, like Logan Sargent for 2023, an American. Yeah, so
I think it'll be a good.
Latifi
good one.
was never able to extract anything really out of the car, and was always pretty much last.
No, the man
So-
created more memes than he did
Yeah,
flipping.
and of course we
talking
all know
points.
the infamous crash in 2021. So
Please let us not go back there again.
I'm going to try and mention that every time.
Yeah,
every time
not
we
again.
pod it. I mention
again.
that. Okay, so Williams. Yeah,
Yeah, let's close
Please.
with Williams. But Alex Albon was the star of the show.
then so disappointing. 9th in the constructors, Alpha Tauri.
Yeah.
So such a good 2021.
Yeah.
Sort of, I remember Pierre Gasly
Great
was qualifying
car.
6th pretty much every
Great car.
week. Just unbelievable.
2021,
And
great car.
Gasly in 2021 was one of the best drivers.
Yeah.
And then this year, well last year, 2022, we
They've
don't know what
fallen-
happened. They just
fallen
fell
off the
right off the
Yeah.
cliff.
I actually have nothing good to say about AlphaTauri. last
Yeah,
year.
they did
have a
not
nice
do a
looking
good
car.
job.
That's about it.
So they were obviously the new rigs.
Yeah.
They struggled tremendously with getting to grips to the new rigs, and they seem to got worse.
Why? They have all the data that Red Bull has. They can just copy their car,
And painted white.
order their car from Wish, and just ride it around the track.
I know.
You won't end up.
I know.
So very disappointing, Pierre Gasly, because
Yeah.
we both know
We
Pierre
thought
Gasly
that-
is pedigree.
Yeah, we think
And
it's pedigree. Yeah.
every time I say Pierre Gasly, I think, "Oh my God, boys, what did we do? What did we just do?"
He did nothing in 2022.
That's what I'm asking myself.
What did
22.
we do?
Oh my God, boys, what did we do?
What did we not do?
Sheepers,
Yeah.
creepers. But very disappointing. Yuki Tsunoda, I'm yet to see something that
Yeah, jeez.
inspires me.
Hot head.
Or
So at the beginning, like, oh, Yuki.
also, he's a potty mouth on the radio.
Yeah, he's a potty mouth.
Jeepers,
I can't.
creepers.
I can't let Archie watch Formula One with his
No,
flipping
no.
ashes.
Hide your
everywhere.
wives, hide your kids.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
So Yuki, I think he's got some pace in him, but
I do.
he's
I
going to
do
take a
think so
long
as well.
time to sort of mature in F1.
Very hot-headed.
very hot-headed, and like in Formula One, you've seen with Lewis.
Yeah.
Like I would say, the thing with Lewis is that always level-headed, like never too emotional,
never.
Yeah. Max probably not so much, but he's able to manage
but
his emotions.
way more mature this year. We will get to him. We'll get to him.
So Yuki was disappointing, but then again, they both had a bad car. So
They did.
Is it their fault? But yeah, I mean, we saw what Gasly could have done.
Alex Albon impressed us. The two of them did.
Okay, that's fair.
Just outperformed.
But Albon wasn't in a car the year before, eh?
Fair.
And we're comparing Albon to Nicholas Latifi, so there's a difference. So we were comparing Gasly 2021 to Gasly 2022.
Yeah.
And we felt like he overperformed in the car in 21 and he underperformed in the car in 22.
Yes.
But maybe the car was just really that slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was Yuki's first season last year, was it?
No.
Was it his second season?
It was, yeah.
Goodness.
Third season this 2023.
Goodness.
Okay, so 8th in the constructors. I'll tip my cap. I'll tip my Stark Brew and FTX Mercedes cap. 8th to Haas. Ferrari Haas, yeah. 37 points. 37 points compared to Alpha's 35. So I've got to tip my cap and say well done to Gene Haas and to Gunther.
And to Gunnar Steinhoff.
Yeah.
What's it? Steinhoff?
Gunther Steiner.
Steinhoff.
Yeah. That's a different
we
conversation.
We don't talk about that either.
Yeah, so well done. Mick,
very impressed. I feel sorry for Mick.
I don't feel sorry for Mick.
I do think there's something there, and I'm saying it from a Mercedes perspective.
Is it because he's Michael Schumacher's son? Is that what?
No. I just think there were flashes of good, solid driving. I wouldn't say he ever
And then he binned it most of the time.
He did spend a lot.
He binned it a lot.
Gene must have been crying a lot of the time.
Can you imagine the phone calls between Gene Haas and Gunther Steiner when he crashed, on an in-lap in China? Do you remember when he aquaplaned?
Yeah.
And he wrecked the car in China on an in-lap?
Yeah, I think is that not just rookie inexperience as well?
That is embarrassing. That is honestly embarrassing.
But Kevin Magnussen, very impressive.
Yeah.
For
the Viking.
For a season and a bit off.
Yeah, well,
and then coming back.
It was good to have him back. Eh?
Yeah, it was good to see him. He's a proper racer.
Yeah,
he loves to race.
And unfortunately, Mick didn't make the grade for this year. But Nico is interesting. But that's 2023. We'll chat about that and having Nico come in. But Haas for them to finish 8th they've got to be happy with it.
That's good.
They've got to be happy with it. Beating AlphaTauri, absolutely. Okay,
it's good. Who are we on to next?
Then we on Aston Martin. So they finished 7th.
Jeepers. And Moneyball.
Yeah, I still think, I'm going to say this, I'm going to look at the camera, I'm going to say Aston Martin in the next, by 2026 are going to be challenging.
Yeah, we're changing everything in 2026.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying before then, by 2026.
Okay.
Lawrence Stroll does not lose. He's the type of guy, I think he just throws enough money at a problem.
For it to come right.
And yeah, I think that they're going to come good. Their factory is nearly finished.
Yeah.
I think that's going to change. Aston Martin are going to start...
Liverpool have a new training centre, but we still...
That means that we've got an old training centre, as in United. Anyway, so Aston Martin, Seb was near the end. I remember, so my brother-in-law was saying, it's a bit tough to watch Seb, this great driver that seemingly didn't.
Yeah.
But then near the end as well,
tough.
after he announced his retirement...
Got a bit of fire in his belly.
Just fire in his belly and started just doing Seb things again, which was so good to see.
Yeah,
so it ended on a good note.
That was just his swan song, I guess.
And then Fernando. Thoughts on Fernando?
Fernando's there now.
Fernando wasn't there, yeah. Sorry, that wasn't... It was Lance, of course. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Lance and Seb. Full stop.
Yeah,
sure.
So Lance.
So Aston Martin, very run of the mill. To be honest, a little bit disappointing. I thought something was going to come of them, and nothing really happened. Nothing really of.
So much more to say.
Substance. Yeah.
Besides the fact that Lance Stroll's real name is Lance Strolovich. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah. That's an amazing statistic.
I did know that. But I like the car, like the British Racing Green.
Yeah.
I like that Aston Martin's back.
They will come.
I do think so.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
Okay, then Alfa Romeo. Sure.
That's quite impressive for Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Valtteri?
Alfa with 55. Actually tied with Aston Martin.
Okay.
But there must be some reason why they're 6th and not 7th. So Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, which is Valtteri Bottas' team, basically. And Joe.
I think that's quite impressive.
I think if you gave them 6th at the start of the season, they would take it open arms.
They would bite your arm off for it.
Yeah.
100%. Over Aston Martin, over Haas and Williams, you sort of expect to be at the bottom, and over AlphaTauri, definitely. Sure. That's quite impressive.
I think for them, I think it's more a case of Alfa being so bad than Alfa Romeo being.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's shifted up, and AlphaTauri's just fallen off.
So I was watching something about the 2023 standings, or like the wrap up of testing, and I think it was Jolyon Palmer was saying so we're talking about ranking people. He's like, okay, but if you think a team's going to be 7th, then who's going to come down?
Who's going to be under there?
You know what I mean? So that's all the way to think
see
about
what you're saying.
So I think for them to beat Aston, Haas, Alfa and Williams is good.
Quite impressive.
And Zhou Guanyu, I think there's much more level-headed than Yuki.
Yeah.
We'll learn a lot from Valtteri.
Impressive.
I wonder how long Valtteri Bottas, how long do you think he'll stay in the sport?
Another 2 years.
Do you think he had...
I think maybe...
So when they become Audi...
2026, I think he's out.
When they become Audi, he's out. Do you think he's going to go until then?
Who else are going to put in?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then we've got fifth. We've got McLaren Mercedes. Fifth.
Underperforming. Sorry, guys, if you hear baby shouting or...
Yeah,
that
I think
is
that's
just our life.
myself.
That's a disclaimer.
Archie,
we are parents, and for us to
maybe that's
have this
cool.
right.
People are like, you know,
they're
it's
relatable.
Not in the studio.
They're
We're relatable, bro. We like normal people with kids and families and stuff.
And if the camera's not just on Dane and there's crying, there's probably me in the corner. But that's how it works. That's how it works.
So McLaren 159 in the constructors, so behind Alpine. And remember, at the start of the year, McLaren had a shocking test.
They did.
They have one of the best drivers on the grid, Lando Norris.
100% agree.
And they had Daniel Ricciardo, who was also very disappointing. So sad to see him go, but I think it was maybe good that he moved away for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think everyone can agree that Lando is a future championship-winning driver if he's given the car.
I mean, it's nothing has happened until it's been done.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense. I sound like Michael Owen by saying stating the obvious, but until it's done.
If they score more goals than the other team, they will win the game.
Yeah. No, but until it's done, until you're a world champion, you're...
So it doesn't help that you have a lot of potential. In Formula 1, it's a results-based.
Exactly.
So I think that it's a nod to the machinery, that we know that Lando can squeeze the car and get everything out of it.
Yeah.
So if they give him a decent car, but they didn't have a good season because they ended behind Alpine, they have to be upset about it. That was the big...
They have to. If you're McLaren, you have to be.
You have to be fourth, and you have to be pushing for third. That's surely the goal.
So top of the midfield, I feel like they lost out. And Alpine, going into Alpine, you've got to be happy with fourth.
Because extremely happy.
The top three are miles ahead.
Yeah. So
the head of the midfield.
Alpine 173. Wait for it. Mercedes 515. 500.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
okay,
crazy.
So the gap's just ridiculous.
I mean, it's like 3 times the number of points. So it's really,
that's just ridiculous.
So Fernando just rolling back the years. Honestly, watching him drive a car is majestic.
It for somebody over 40 years old and the racecraft
I'm 32. I struggle to get out of bed without a sore back after just parenting. Not even like this man is ringing a car at 6 Gs. Then he's getting out trying to sell his clothing using his flippin' Kimau cap.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
No,
it's just so good to have him in the sport.
It's mightily impressive, and honestly, to see him still do it year in and year out,
it's impressive. It says that Lewis. I mean, there's
Lewis
no reason why Lewis can go
easily to 40.
The heart still must go on.
Yeah,
according to Celine Dion.
Okay, let's get into the top.
Okay, so now Alpine, and they did well to get to make fourth. So well done to Otmar.
They're quite impressed with Ocon.
Although him and Fernando,
he's played a part.
Seems like. And just quickly before we move on to Mercedes, it seems like in a team with Ocon, there's friction between Ocon and the other teammate. So
you don't know though. You don't know what is it going to be like with Fernando and Stroll.
Yeah,
you don't know who's the troublemaker.
There's, in 2023, it's exciting. I know we're talking about this season, but now Gasly and Ocon have history.
Yes,
and Ocon won't hold back.
We'll get to that in our predictions episode.
Okay, Mercedes 515, Ferrari 554. So only sort of 30-ish points.
But
and you've got to say it for Mercedes.
That's at least 2 races, I would say.
It is at least 2 races, but you've got to say it for Mercedes, for them to come back from how bad they were at the start of the year was incredible.
Yeah.
And you just think that that's a sign for this year.
Yeah.
So you've got to tip your cap to George and Lewis for sticking through the tough start of the season, but George won a race.
Yeah.
Lewis didn't win a race.
They obviously ended the season way better than they finished the season, but
they were by far the most improved team, right?
Exactly.
Which they don't want to hear. They don't care.
In the beginning of the season, their car was traveling vertically. And at the end of the season, the car is traveling horizontally. So the porpoising
was hitting the van.
Oh my, shattered nerves. The amount of
you know how Lewis got out of his car in Baku? That's how I climb out of bed. And So Mercedes, super impressive for them to come back.
And it's just good to see. And like you said before, by far most impressive. I mean, Mercedes is my team, and I'll stick by them through thick and thin. But the ability to constantly improve is I just admire it. I love the team.
Other teams are all trying. Everyone is trying.
Everybody's trying
just
to
like
improve.
we need to.
But they seem to be closing. They were miles off the front two, miles off,
and they were just behind.
They closed down. Quite
we don't have that much time left, and we need to talk about Ferrari.
Okay, well, Ferrari. Let's get into Ferrari because Ferrari have done the opposite to what Mercedes did. They were world class,
absolutely backwards,
and
they lost. They completely lost it. It was tough to watch, and I'm sorry to say, but Matteo Binotto. It's not surprising that he got the sack.
Yeah,
because they clearly were not. They had a fast car, but were not able to challenge for the championship, which was sad.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the race, they got a 1-2 in Bahrain last year.
Yes,
in the first race.
I know, but it wasn't after that. It was easy.
Yes,
it was easy.
It was
I feel like Charles was like toying with Max at one stage.
Yes, he had the pace.
Which was
And then tyre dig became an issue. Engine reliability became an issue.
Goodness gracious me!
Pit stops, strategy.
Carlos Sainz was basically a ball of fire at one stage.
And then there was a stage at Silverstone where Sainz was told to hold back to try and give Charles. He had fresher tyres, and they were telling him to hold back to let Charles go. And Carlos was like, "Why can't I win a race?"
Yeah,
is he the second driver? And it was a
I think that's a big problem. Like at Red Bull, it's very obvious who the main driver is. Ferrari, it's not, and Mercedes, it's not. But they sort of open about it being.
They say that it's not, but
Ferrari, it's a problem. Ferrari, it's a problem because Leclerc is a future world champion.
Yeah,
and
Sainz thinks he's a future world champion.
Yes,
is he? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think Charles is faster than just fundamentally faster than Carlos Sainz.
But watching them go backwards is
it was
like
tough to watch.
Bunch of
the thing was
clowns.
The thing that was really worrying was like a mistake would happen, and then it'd be like, okay, we'll talk about it, and then it would like a worse mistake.
Yeah.
So they would not only not learn from the mistake, but then they make a worse mistake.
Yeah.
So like
box. Oh no, don't box. Box. Oh wait, next
bad.
time box. Oh, we've left your tires.
And okay, we can't talk too much more about Red Bull because there's not much to say besides the fact that they were absolutely built. I don't think they read the wrong regulation because they built a rocket ship.
Well, they did because they broke the budget.
And then they just realized, oh yes, we'll just put it on a flat track and we'll go forward.
Goodness
me,
they
slightly break the budget.
I do think that they were dealing with they're in a completely different class.
Yeah,
they were in a completely different formula style racing. They were just
they nailed the race. And you give Max a fast car that's pointy, and he will win races weekend. And and they didn't even have a fast. They didn't even have a fast quali car. The one lap pace wasn't even there, but
it wasn't slow.
On the race pace, they were
straight line speed was
ridiculous. And again, we'll get into 2023, but it looks like it's going to be similar.
It's going to be the same. Adrian Newey.
So well done to Red Bull. Well done to Adrian.
Newey, just building another.
Maybe we can meet Adrian as well. If we're going to meet Karun, we'll just throw Adrian in the mix.
It goes Karun and then it.
Adrian there, but okay.
Yeah, Adrian's there, but he ain't Karun.
He ain't Karun, yeah.
Fair enough. But it was a fantastic season nonetheless. We do want to see closer racing.
Yeah, we did see.
Everybody wants
the new
to see
regs worked.
racing.
Let's say that the new regulations worked
for what they were intended.
Yes, the cars are closer.
Yeah.
In terms of when they're on the track.
Yeah.
And over the next couple of years, as the teams figure out the regs, they are going to get closer.
We have to only get closer. I do still think, and as we've seen with 21, 22, I mean, we've seen time and time again, there's always going to be the top tier,
teams.
The middle tier, and
like in the Prem, there's the top four.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just how life is, how sport is.
And on that note, on how life is, we're going to have to say goodbye. We'd love to keep chatting, but that's the F1 2022 wrap. So if anyone asks you about that, just direct them to this video because we've said everything that needs to be said.
Just pop a link. Tell them to like and subscribe. Help us to get to Karun. That's who we need to be. We might change it up in the future, going to different places. See who can hear the name Karun. And if you know of a guy called Karun, looks like Karun.
Let us know. We'll interview him.
Anybody that's some relation to Karun. That maybe somebody that speaks Tamil. Anybody. But thanks very much, guys, and we'll catch you at the next one. Cheers, boys.